I do not consent to the encroachment of any negative entities or entities at all on my person. My intention is to observe and help if I can. Shields up, all frequencies, rotating, protection, of course, and I'll throw in a kinetic protection just in case. I know people would say, you know, what's that going to do if I come up behind you and knock you down? Well, maybe nothing, but it may keep me from my 17th concussion. Never know. It doesn't hurt. It's only a bit of your will in words, magic words. I had my first concussion when I was an infant. My mom had me wrapped up in a blanket in her right arm, and she was on the phone with my dad. And I guess she turned the right way or just moved the right way, and it popped out the top like a burrito or something. And I landed on my head, and my eyes rolled back, and she started freaking out. She thought I was dead. So she's screaming at my dad because she's on the phone with him. He's at work, and she didn't call the ambulance or anything. She just talked to him and said, tell him to come home. I don't think I went to the hospital, actually. I think they might have been scared to take me there. Who knows? I mean, this is all being told to me, you know, years later, secondhand, but yeah, the hospital was never mentioned. And in fact, I had another concussion when I was not too much older. I went to my parents' bed, and I guess I would always go in there because I was always afraid of stuff. I was seeing things. I used to see shit coming down the walls. I remember vividly these like crab monsters that were like they had a glow in the dark kind of glow to them, and they were moving down my walls, kind of around me. And I still have the memory of it. It could have just been like, it could have been anything. I don't know what that was, but I used to get stuff like that occasionally. And I'd always go running into my parents' room. And another thing I used to have too, and this still happens today, is I would hear my name being called. So I'd think they'd be calling me, and I'd run out and be like, hey, what do you want? And they'd be like, nothing, psycho, go to bed. So I had other concussions. Now, they told me I had a concussion these times. I don't remember there being any doctor involved or anything, so I don't know if they actually were concussions. But the one when I fell on my parents' bed, I still have a scar over my left eye. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if you can see it. There's like a spot missing, like where hair won't grow. It looks like a vanilla ice type thing. I don't know, whatever, I'll have to do it when you can see it. But yeah, they said that was a concussion. But again, I don't remember them saying anything about a doctor. And then, you know, in my teen years, I did stupid stuff. I was in car accidents. The last hospital concussion thing I went through was, and I'm demon spotting right now as I'm doing this. I'm multitasking. This was like 2006. I was in a car just waiting at the light to go, right? And this guy coming toward me, someone pulled out of a side street, and he didn't like that. So he was trying to make this exaggerated swerve, like, hey man, why are you pulling out of the side street? He was this old, like, jerk off. So he did this exaggerated swerve, but then he couldn't get the car back together and hit me head on while I was sitting in my car, right coming at me. And when he hit me, I had my seatbelt on. So it fired my body right up into the roof in a big, like, bong. And when I came down, there was a little bit of missing time, as sometimes these things are. And next thing I know, I'm just walking around my car with my coffee still in my hand. I had a Dunkin' Donuts coffee in a cup. And it was like, you know, not much left in the cup. It was pretty empty. It splattered everywhere. But I still walk around holding it. Because you're a little fucked up when those things happen. I don't know. That time was a concussion. I went to the doctor. They give me all the information, and I got some painkillers and stuff. And they told me what to do, not to sleep until this time or whatever. And they gave me this pamphlet of this guy sitting on a bed, like a cartoon, like these New World Order sort of shitty Cal Arts cartoons that they're put on everything now. And it says, "You and your brain injury." And he's all unhappy looking, sitting on the bed. I had bleeding on the brain, but I don't know, whatever. Then the next time I was knocked out was here. And I covered that in a video about a friend of mine, who's still a friend of mine. I saw him recently. He was talking about colonizing Mars. And I never show my fucking power level, ever. But this particular night, he was just going on and on about this documentary he saw. And he kept saying, you know, when we get to Mars, dude. And finally, I'm just like, dude, there is no Mars. You can't go to Mars because it doesn't exist. You know, you're not, none of that shit exists. Space as, I mean, I don't know if I got this into it. I don't know, space as it's been explained to us is not real, you know. A vacuum next to like an atmosphere, it's silly. The whole thing's dumb. So he got really mad about this, and we went outside to, I thought we were just gonna go out and smoke, but he was really mad. So as I pulled out my pack of cigarettes in the doorway, he clocked me, totally suckered me. A couple of kids picked me up off the floor, and it was cool. Like he started running down the street because he thought I'd try to get to him. He's a pretty kind of a fat dude, so I could have caught him if I wanted to, but I caught up with him later, and I was like, "Hey, man, no problem. You know, my bad. I shouldn't have shattered your world like that." Because that's the response you get, though, sometimes when people hear things that challenges their worldview or shakes their foundations, and people are like, well, why do they get so mad? They get mad because somewhere inside them they know that there's truth to it. I wouldn't pick him as a guy having divinity. He's not a very creative person. He's kind of he's a good guy, but he's on a lot of pills. He's really into he does a lot of dope, heroin, and a lot of Xanax too. He's usually always fucked up. He's just not really a smart dude. But you can be a drone person without divinity and still have the ability to be good, or, you know, have some goodness in your heart. If you're one of those kind of people, though, you're also capable of torturing animals too, because that's how that works. Without divinity, there's no empathy. Without empathy, you have kind of a dangerous person, you know. But everything works out fine with him. It's just, I don't know if that was yet another concussion. It might have been. But yeah, I don't know how we got there. Oh yeah, we got there because the idea of an extra kinetic shield. Monday night. A lot of people here from Monday night. I think it's because we're going into the holidays. The crowds will probably increase up until Christmas, and then it'll cool off for a while. So I imagine, I mean, if this is Monday, we're gonna have Well, also this was like, what, a holiday weekend, right? Well, not really, it was Black Friday. Well, Thanksgiving was last week. Sorry, I'm just going through the calendar in my head. Yeah, so I expect there to be more people from here on out. And when there's more people, there's a better chance of, running into something. Because more people means more opportunities for those things to hitch a ride with someone that's low enough vibration, whether it's because they're just depressed or maybe they're really messed up on drugs or perhaps really drunk. That's why it's called spirits, Words, all these words mean things, So it's a good time to come out here and just kind of look around. I like doing a perimeter walk regardless, demon spotting or not. I mean, I guess I'm always demon spotting, but I feel like sometimes I can relax at home better once I do a perimeter walk. I don't know why that is. It's a psychological thing, I guess. I notice too, like sometimes if I get in a weird mood or something, I stay in for a day and I don't go out. The next time I do go out, it's a bit harder. Like I'm a bit more like paranoid about stuff. It's too much, So I like to keep going out, just to be able to be used to it. You know what I mean? I used to have really bad social anxiety growing up, which I didn't help by always insisting on keeping the personal aesthetic I always have. But yeah, I was always like I guess paranoid. I guess would be what you call it. I'm always thinking like, why is that guy? But then a lot of times people are looking at you, creeping on you. It's sometimes you'll get a situation that vindicates you and that kind of thinking, and then it just makes things worse. But I've been a lot better with it here. I think a lot of things improved in my life once I started to understand what was going on with in the metaphysical realm. It answers a lot of questions for you and makes things less nebulous. Like a lot of things that would normally bother me or used to bother me. So this is being more of a fucking therapy session, sorry. But yeah, I wanted to just run the thing till I got up here. I'll fire it up on the way back. I'll take a different route. Everything seems fine tonight, though. It's weird. You get a vibe sometimes when you go out, or at least I do. And I'll come in and tell my wife, yeah, I had to come back. It's just the feeling out there isn't good. I think a lot of people can have that same ability to feel that when something about the pressure or the air pressure. It just you can feel that negative energy. But this feels like it's just a normal night. Although, that's subject to change in moments. You never know with this kind of stuff. All right, going on a long walk around like an old man at the drugstore. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.